Was that like another way you're recording it or something?
What name you want to put on here?
AFIYA.
AF.
IYA.
AFIYA.
Elnora. ELNORA.
E.
ELNORA.
Oh, Elnora. ELNORA.
But some people call me Afia, some people call me Elnora. So.
You want your last name on here?
That's fine. Wesley.
It's up to you.
WESLEY.
Okay, keep your mic muted, but you got your camera. You set it up how you want to. And I'm about to add you to the stage now. If you want some headphones, you don't have to if you want some.
Okay. I'm shining. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Can I what?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. How about you?
Good. Nervous as usual.
Huh?
I'm good. Nervous as usual.
I can't tell. I've been watching you on these videos, girl. Don't even try.
Looking crazy, right?
You don't sound nervous.
Looking like I don't know how to talk. Talk to me.
Yes, you are listening to Community Voices right here live at KABF 88.3 FM. I am your host, the Reverend Doctor. You can call me Denise. And I'm super excited that we have a special guest in the house today. And I cannot wait for us to have this conversation. But first, I want to pause for just a moment. Can you stick that right down there? I want to pause for just a moment to make sure that you know. We got Hotep on the line already. Hotep. And then we got, I see your Hotep right there. And there you go, Mayor Lisa Hicks Gilbert in the house. Good morning, good people, says the mayor. Yes. So glad that you all have joined us. We are right here on the corner of 21st and Main, 2101 South Main Street in Little Rock, Arkansas, 72206, bringing you community voices, bringing you education, information, inspiration, motivation, challenge, pushback, all of those things that will help us grow and glow into who we are created to be as humans. Want to make sure that we let you know how grateful we are for your presence in this space. I try to always remember to greet you in the spirit of Sawubona, the spirit of oneness that says that the whole of who you are is invited into this space, and you are welcome and you are celebrated in this space. And we just ask the whole of who you are to receive the whole of who we are in this space as well, and figure out how we are going to navigate this thing called life together, coexisting in the spirit of oneness. So we say Sawubona and greet you and let you know how much we appreciate all of the ways that you show up for us. You show up for us with all of your resources, whether they are financial, whether they are human, whether they are through connections and networking, like however it is that you show up for us. For that, we are grateful. Tony is not going to be in the studio today. He is, I'm sure he'll tell you all about it on Thursday. But it's me and I'm going to let her introduce herself because I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to introduce yourself the way that you want to. So you will tell us about who you are and what you do. So this morning we got a special guest. Tell us who you are.
Hello, peace. My name is Chef Elnora Wesley.
Wait. Start again.
Peace. My name is Chef Elnora Wesley. I am owner of Home Vegan Restaurant, formerly the House of Mental Eatery. And I'm thankful to be here.
I'm gonna call you Elnora because that's how I know you.
That's fine.
But I usually start the conversation off saying how we met and how we know what space we were in. But I remember meeting you at Osiris's at Aphrodisia. Mm-hmm. There was an open mic night. We actually had Osiris here not too long ago, last week, as a matter of fact, and he had an open mic at Aphrodisia, and I believe that's when I first met you that night. I think so too. Night. I thought you were going to be there this past Saturday. There was an open mic night at the market right there.
We were tired.
Y'all were tired. I was looking for you. I was like, I think she's going to show up. But yeah, I remember meeting you there. I want to get us started, though. I wanted us to be grounded in the song. The song was, there go Ruby. Ruby and Nat Carter Welch. Good morning to you. Grand Rising Humans. I want to get us grounded in the song that was played. It was actually a cover by Teddy Swims, a cover of Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And I heard it for the first time at Zumba. Most of the time I hear, because I don't listen to the radio much, but most of the time I hear the songs at Zumba. Beth, the instructor, was playing it. I wonder, have y'all heard me? Have y'all heard anything we've said today? Because I think I had that. I don't know if they've even heard. Good morning, Ryan D. The Right Reverend Ryan D. Davis is here saying good morning. I hope that you all have heard us this morning. I think I may have had the wrong button pushed, but we've got special guests in the house, Chef Elnora Wesley, who is the vegan chef and owner of Home, formerly House of Mental Eatery, that's now located 1524. What's the address? Martin Luther King.
Yes, 1523.
Okay, 15.
Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. 15, the corner of 16th and MLK.
The corner of 16th and MLK, 1523, Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. And we are here in the spirit of oneness in that Sawubona to talk about what it means to ask ourselves the question of what's going on. And it's mind, body, soul, and spirit. And so here we are. Thank you, Ruby. Here we are with Teddy Swims. This is his cover of Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And I heard it Zumba. Beth, the instructor, was playing it as our cool down. And I was like, I know that's not Marvin Gaye, but who is that? And I thought that he had a wonderful voice. And so, if you have Google on your phone, then you can click Google and then click the little microphone icon that's at the top, and then tell it to listen to the song. Like, listen to this song and it'll tell you what it is. So when the white man came up, I was like, what? Because I didn't know who it was, but I just assumed that it was going to be somebody. Assumed it was going to be a Black person. And so he was singing the song, and I was like, okay. So I looked him up, Teddy Swims, and I wanted you to hear that because I think that it's important for this conversation when we talk about stories, because I want us to hear your story today, talking about just the story of how you got to where you are right now. But what happens in a situation like this, where you have a white person who covers the black person's song, if you do not carry the black person's story, then you get caught up in the new person that's singing the song, and you lose all of what the new person has, all of what brought the new person to this space. So Teddy Swims is singing a Marvin Gaye song, but if you don't know the story of Marvin Gaye, then you're going to lose all of what is included in the song that Marvin Gaye is singing, which has to do with racism, has to do with police brutality, has to do with systematic racism, it has to do with sexism and homophobia and patriarchy, like all domestic violence, all of that is a part of Marvin Gaye's story. And so when you decide that you want to show up and represent somebody else, even though you may be talented, if you don't bring their story along with you, then you basically erase them. And now all of the attention is on you. And that is not what we are here to do. That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not just. And so I want to make sure that when we're having these stories, that we keep that in mind, that people who want to come alongside us and say, oh yeah, I'll be your ally, want to come alongside and say, I'll fight with you, want to say I'm a member of your tribe. If you don't know my story and if you're not interested in it, because even Marvin Gaye says that you got to ask me, I need to tell you, you need to ask me, you need to engage me in conversation so I can tell you what's going on. Because what's going on with you is not the same as what's going on with me. What's going on with your ancestors is not the same as what's going on with my ancestors. So if you want to be involved in the conversation, you've got to know the story. And I'm not sure that Teddy Swims knows the story. I haven't asked him though, so I'm just not sure. But he might. But I want to make sure that I say that tonight, today, getting us started with this storytelling piece, as I also bring in the EJI tidbit. The EJI tidbit for today, I'm actually going to use, it's not going to be today, which is the 7th. I want to use the 10th. So the Equal Justice Initiative publishes this calendar every single year, and it has a tidbit for every day to remind us of our ancestry, to remind us of our heritage, to remind us of the DNA, the fabric of this country that includes us all. All of us are a part of the story. We're telling it through a different lens, but all of us are a part of the story. So on May 10th in 1740, South Carolina enacts the Negro Act of 1740, which allows enslavers to whip and kill enslaved people who violate the law by growing their own food, learning to read, assembling in groups, or earning money. Let me read that again. On May 10th in 1740, South Carolina enacts the Negro Act of 1740, which allows enslavers to whip and kill enslaved people who violate the law by growing their own food, by learning to read, by assembling in groups, or by earning money. I think that's important for this conversation because we're going to be talking about food. We're going to be talking about food insecurity. We're going to be talking about food apartheid. It's very important. And for us to realize that it was against the law for people who were enslaved to grow their own food, to learn how to read, to do anything that would feed their own mind, body, soul, and spirit. Anything that will allow you to be human, anything that will allow you to grow, anything that will allow you to live into the essence of who you are as human. You were not allowed. As a matter of fact, it was against the law. And a lot of times people say, well, why are you bringing up these laws? This is a law from 1740. Well, they just used a law from the 1800s the other day when they were talking about abortion, if I'm not mistaken. So these laws are still on the books in some cases. And so we have to pay attention to them, and we have to realize that they are a part of our story. We have to know that story so that we can figure out how to navigate the story, not just mine, not just yours, but ours as humanity. And so when I wanted to read that specifically because we're talking about food today, so I want to talk about your journey, Elnora, because what I understand, you became vegan at the age of 15. Is that right?
Yes, well, vegetarian.
Vegetarian first, and then you went vegan. But at 15 is young. And so what happened in your life to make you say, hey, I want to change my diet?
That's interesting. I think it was just time. I think things happen in our life. We be, in the cycle for it. It's already in our DNA. It's already part of our life path journey. And then something comes along and spark it. And in this instance, um, it was a brother. A brother came through and gave me Eat to Live. And
Is
so,
that a book?
yes, a book, Eat to
I
Live.
got that book.
And so I stopped eating beef and pork, and then where it said chicken and turkey and stuff for a while, and became vegetarian. So that book just saying that that we didn't eat that many white flour products, white sugar and different things were bad for us. I started cleansing my diet and so bettering my nutrition. Dr. Africa said don't use the word diet, so bettering my nutrition because it has diet in it. Bettering my nutrition from there. So yeah, it was a brother. I was coming into African knowledge. I cut my hair off. I started growing my fro at 15, writing poetry, and it was just a cycle and a time for me.
I do agree with that. I agree that we are seeds are planted along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And people come along in our lives and begin to water the seed that has already been planted.
Yes.
And then we continue to do the work to produce the fruit from that seed. So I definitely get that you were it was already something in you happening, germinating.
Mm-hmm.
And then this brother, as you say,
mm-hmm.
comes along and waters that seed and continues to allow it and to grow. And I like you saying, don't say diet because it has the word die in it. So we talk about nutrition, we're talking about wellness, we're talking about wholeness instead.
Yes.
Okay, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But at 15, were the people in your home also saying, oh, okay, listen, let me hear what you're talking about. Talk to me about where your whole family, did you go on a familial journey to say all of us are going to stop eating beef and pork at first?
Not at all, and they weren't going to do it.
They weren't going to do it?
They still haven't done it.
They still haven't done it?
No, they weren't going to do it. So no, it was just me.
Did you try to get them to do it?
At times with my mother later in life, I tried to get her to just switch over her nutrition, and not even just a vegan, but just eating more plant-based, because I've had times where I went back to eating meat. I was a brother. I was dating someone and started eating back eating meat because he just liked meat a lot, and I was preparing and I was tasting it and I was doing things. But another story, another time. But so my mother, I tried to get her because I know that she started suffering with diabetes when she was about 30. So I'm watching her go through this. And by that time, I've already changed up my nutrition. I've read books. I've read Queen Afua. I've read Heal Thyself. I'm Dr. Laila African Holistic Health. So at this time, from 15 on up, until my 20s, to about 24, I'm reading all this book. I'm studying all these things about nutrition and just African culture in general. And so I know what we need to do. But and the crazy thing about a lot of people who have diabetes, they don't like water. I don't know what it is. They don't like to drink water. So I was reading all these things and trying to get her to just some things. It's not about being vegan. It's not about being plant-based. It's about clearing your body system to work accordingly. Like a car, you change the oil, you do the tune-up stuff. This is your vehicle. You have to do the same thing with your body. Give it a little ease on the sugar. Give it ease on this or that. Put the nutrients, the herbs and things in to help things to flow. So I don't know if I got all off topic there, but
no, you did not at all.
Yeah. So
my mother is diabetic too, so it's interesting that you said she doesn't like to drink. That your mother, as a diabetic, doesn't like to drink water. My mother is also suffering from chronic kidney failure, and so I thought she didn't want to drink the water because of her dialysis, because if she has more fluid, the more fluid she has, the more they have to pool, and she doesn't want that. But it may be related to the diabetes, I don't know. But what I do know is that I stopped giving her the bottle of water that's 16.9 ounces, the regular that you usually get when you go to the store, and I've started giving her the 8 ounce. And with that 8 ounce, she will absolutely drink. Sometimes she will drink the entire bottle when I give her pills in the morning. Sometimes she will drink that entire. I could not for the life of me get her to drink that much water when she had that 16.9 ounce. So I don't know if it's a psychological thing or not, but that 8 ounce, giving her that has really, really made a difference in her water intake. So I just wanted to share that because some other people might need to hear that too. But I wanted it sounds to me like you're coming into the knowledge of who you are as an Afrocentric person, as a member of the African diaspora, was also kind of part and parcel of this conversation with your body in terms of wellness and nutrition. So is there a link between, hey, I'm realizing who I am as a member of the African diaspora, as a Black woman in America now, and so I want to make sure that I'm focusing also on my nutrition. Was it connected at all?
Hand in hand, and whether that's your mental health, physical health, just your holistic teachings on just becoming a whole being, or getting back to things that help you to thrive as a Black person, as an African person in America, that helps you to thrive. So yeah, they were hand in hand, and Africa is a holistic approach. There's not things aren't broken up into different pieces. Like you got science over here, you got health over here, you got no. It's everything is everything. It's a circle, so everything affects everything. So the interconnectedness of spirit and life, the interconnectedness of your body, your mind, your soul. So that's what I was coming into. So with that, you have to look at your health. You have to look at the things you put in your body. You have to look at the things you consume. That's around time you stop watching so much television and stuff, just to make sure you have a filter, that's filtering those things out, because you don't know what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are just implanted by you. And you want your own cultural thoughts. You want your own cultural seed, because you want to know what you're cultivating with you yourself, your family, within your body, within yourself, within your mind, and what you want to bring to this earth. So you always have to have a cultural seed, and that's where mine started,
Talk to us about your shirt for people who can't see it, because this is radio. It's a picture of Africa, and there's you can see faces, like profiles of faces on each side at the bottom where the horn is, and then you've got BL, and then the diamond K, and then under that jewel. So I'm reading it as B Black Jewel, but I'm not sure. So talk to us about
this is merch from my sister's Alexis.
Okay,
yes.
okay, come on, Alexis.
Yes, this is her merch, and I decided to wear this. I didn't even know we were gonna be on video, but shout out to sis Alexis. I think she's in the city right now, but she's has repatriated to I think Tanzania.
Oh,
yeah,
wow, wow. I saw on your Facebook where you went to see Alice Ayers.
Oh yes.
And she was in Tanzania. Many of her stories where she was talking about Tanzania and the work that she had done with her quilts. Many of those stories are Tanzanian stories, because she had lived there. So it's really interesting. Like you said a few minutes ago, everything is kind of connected. And I want to talk to you about, I didn't know who you were the very first time I saw you, because you were at the 801 station in the back where you had House of Mental Eatery. That's where I went in one time to get some food, actually. Okay. Again, for my mom, I was saying, with my mom, I try to get her to try different things. And since I'm her caregiver, I know that she's only eating what I give her. So I feel like I have a responsibility to make sure that I'm offering her the choices that are best for her body as well. Because she's not trying to hear about no fried food. She's not trying to hear that either. But I don't tell her a lot of times what it is she's eating until after the fact.
Right.
So that was the first time that I actually engaged your food, but I didn't know who you were. And so can you tell us a little bit about the journey that took you from 801 station to where you are now, 1523? Because I understand that wasn't like a full out like restaurant like you have now.
No. We were thugging. But yes. No, it's interesting. Scott Hamilton, he saw me, that's how I got at 801. He saw me online, people requesting my food, and he was like, wow, he's real good at, he entrepreneur heart, so he wants to see other entrepreneurs thrive. So that's how I ended up there. And from there, it was just time, we needed to expand. We needed to expand, so I was talking with Benito about, plans for change and movement, and he had an idea. He saw he had been looking working with Fitzhill, the Arkansas Baptist College. They got in a huddle, and hey, here we go. We have the Trinity over there with 3 Black businesses in the square.
3 Black businesses in that building that's right across the street from Arkansas Baptist. It's the student union, if I'm not
the student union
mistaken. In the
First Security Student Union.
First Security Student Union building. 3 Black businesses brought in by Remix Ideas, a partnership with Benito Lubazibwa and Fitzhill, and he was a former president of
the Arkansas Baptist Foundation
College, and so now they thought about this idea, and the idea was to get you all in that place because it was strategic, right? Like a lot of times, it really bothers me when we tell the stories. It's particularly about Black history. We do not talk about the the intellectualism that is at play. When we tell the story about Rosa Parks, we'll say, oh, she was just tired that day and she didn't feel like getting up. And so it just happened to kick off this movement. It's like, no, that's not what happened. This was a strategy. This was, we sat down, this was organizing, this was mobilizing, this was the community at work saying it's time for a change. And what are we willing to sacrifice? What are we willing to put on the line? We're willing to put our bodies on the line. We're willing to be arrested. We're willing to be brutalized. We're willing to do whatever it takes. And so there was a strategy at play with the partnership between Benito and Fitz to say, this is a space, we're in the middle of a food desert. Right? Yes. And so this is, we're on Dr. King, this is a food desert, and we need to make sure that we are granting access to people who need it, access to the food that's going to nurture your body. Not just saying we want access to just any old food, but we want to make sure that you have access to the food that will nurture your body, that will clear your mind, that will put you in a better headspace to do the things that you are called to do. And so that's why we need to be in this space, so that we can make sure that the community knows what's available to you. So this is a strategic plan that was brought out. And so when you talk about being a chef, and you said when you were 15, like, okay, I'm thinking about my Blackness, I'm thinking about being a member of the African diaspora, I want to clear my body, I want to clear my mind, I want to make some changes. But then you had to say at some point, I also want to help the community, or else why did you start selling food?
I'm a service person. I'm a community person. So, you know, I live a life of service. But I've always just prepared food for my mom. I was 5 years old, a step stool up to the stove, cooking eggs for breakfast for everyone. You know, like, so I've always prepared meals for everyone. So it really just happened. I was at a sister shop over at Harambe Market over in North Little Rock, and I was just preparing plates for people. Never thought about having a restaurant. Never thought about that amount of work in my service, you know. And people just, the demand got greater and greater. And so that's how that happened. I would naturally prepare food for people. People would come to my house and get food, you know. And but it was always free. And then once I started kind of selling a few places to people, the demand got higher, and here we are. And so I don't know how to quit. So
well, please don't quit. Well, if your body says quit, then I think you should.
Yeah, now my body says, or slow down. Yeah.
For those of you who are just tuning in, you are listening to Community Voices Live right here at KABF 88.3 FM, where we are the voice of the people. The phone lines are open at 501-433-0008 for this conversation with vegan chef Afia Elnora Wesley, who is the owner of Home. Do you still call it House of Mental Eating?
Some people do. People call it the House of Mental. They still call it the
House of Mental.
But we wanted to shorten it because that's a lot to say.
And it also
H.O.M.E.
And it also is the way that you've shortened it. Now when you walk in and you all say, welcome home, I think that's a wonderful greeting, right? So people walk through the door and say, welcome home. But you're here for this conversation. I want to pause for station identification, but also to give you some announcements. The University of Pine Bluff is set to host their first Juneteenth in the Bluff Arts and Cultural Festival, a free and public celebration coming June 14th. Continue to be on the lookout for that. On tomorrow, the unveiling of the Daisy Bates statue that's going to be unveiled in Statuary Hall in DC. You will be able to watch it at Second Baptist Church on John Barrow starting tomorrow. It starts at 1:00 p.m. Want to make sure that you are still aware that you can text Free Black Mamas, FREEBLACK to 53555. Text Free Black Mamas to 53555 so that we can join in with the Little Rock the Little Rock Freedom Fund, this is head by Dawn Jeffrey. She was in the studio not too long ago, but they have already bailed out people, and they're going to keep doing this until Juneteenth. They're going to continue to bail out as many people as possible, particularly Black mamas in this season. In this season, they're focusing on Black mamas. Text Free Black Mamas to 53555. They have already had some people released. So this is an active mission that's happening right now in our space. Want to also let you know that Director Miller, a Black male politician, wants to share the information regarding a public meeting with public work staff to discuss Bishop Street sidewalks and East 39th Street drainage. The meeting will be on Monday, May 20th at 5 p.m. at the Dunbar Community Center. Again, there's a public meeting with public works staff to discuss Bishop Street sidewalks and East 39th Street drainage, and it's happening on May 20th at 5:30 p.m. at the Dunbar Community Center, and that's in Ward 1 with your City Ward Director, Virgil Miller. I wanted to also think about, when I think about you and I think about your story of wanting to make sure that people have access to this food that is going to clear us, mind, body, and soul, so we can focus on our nutrition so that we can clear our minds. You said something about television and how we need a filter. So you don't know whose thoughts, what thoughts are your thoughts, or what thoughts come from somewhere else. A lot of times we try to make sure that we are connecting the dots on this show, making sure that and you said it yourself, you said that everything is a circle. So everything is connected, everything is interconnected. We talk about the spirit of oneness, the spirit of Sawubona. So when you said, I was reading a lot, you named some of the books that you're reading. So like, turn off the TV, not completely, but kind of turn it off, pay more attention to what you're listening to, and also read. Am I hearing you say that too? Mm-hmm. And especially when I was reading the tidbit that said that if you violated the law, if you wanted to grow food, if you wanted to learn to read, there's a reason why people don't want you to read. There's a reason why people are not granting you access to food, the food that nourishes your body. There's a reason why we still have these laws about that people are legislating around voter suppression and those kinds of things. And so can you just talk a little bit about what led you to the books? I know the brother first gave you Eat to Live, but you read those other books too.
Yes. Well, just in my search for self, I wrote a poem when I was 15, and it was called Confusion. And at the end of it, it was like, I just want to know my name, Confusion or whatever. So that's what I was in search for. I was in search for who am I? Where did I come from? It's got to be more than this, because at 15 years old, I was gang banging, and I was coming out of a banking era. We was gang banging, living our minister society type media influence lives. And I don't know if art, I don't know, what they say, does art reflect life imitate life, or life imitating art, whatever it was, it had us. So I'm coming out of that. And so I know it has to be something else, because all this is death and destruction. So, and why are we destroying ourselves? What is this? So then you learn about, white supremacy, I read, I started reading Yurugu, Dr. Marimba Ani. I started reading, and that's about European cultural thought. And that taught me a lot about how to distinguish the two. So, what's thinking you, And so what led me there was just my search and study for self, wanting to know my name, wanting to know what's going on with us, why are we treating each other like this, and what can be better,
Well, I didn't know that you were gang banging. I didn't know that about your story at all. And first, let me just say this: it's interesting to me, and I appreciate you putting it out there. So it doesn't seem like that's something that you are ashamed of, to say, yes, I was a gang banger. First of all, what does that even mean?
I just mean you run with a clique, you take a loyalty to, I guess, a set or something, and it's really you with your peeps, your homies, your family, and it's just like who I said again, vegans are gangbangers to me. The whole vegan clique, they're gangbangers. They're going to bang on somebody who's not eating right. They're going to bang. So we'll talk about street gangs or whatever, but it's a lot of gangs in America. And America's gangland, and you may call it an organization or a clique or whatever, but if you're representing what you love. So I just went all off topic with that, but that's one of my pet peeves, because it's a whole lot of gangs in America.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, to say that being vegan is a gang, saying that we are going to bang on you, not meaning that we're going to kill you, not meaning that we're going to do harm to you, but saying, but we're going to let you know that we're going to inform you, we're going to let you know, and we're going to let you know by any means necessary.
Yes, but see, I don't like that. I have a vegan restaurant. It's a plant-based restaurant. I've always been totally vegan because I came up with the old school vegans. And back in the day, a lot of vegan people I knew, they wouldn't even eat in a place that prepared meat at all. So I always kept it strictly vegan for the integrity of it. I like to use the term plant-based a little more, just because I see some vegans being so mean. It's like it became a gang, being so mean. No, I don't. It's cool to save the planet. I'm in it to save my people. My people will save the planet. Mine is to give my people a better way of life, and then my people naturally will save the planet. So I'm not knocking vegan as a term, but I've just seen a poor spirit from some of these vegans when it coming into veganism through African holistic practices. It's supposed to change who you are. It's supposed to change your spirit. It's supposed to open you up to where you are kinder. They say when you're not eating flesh and different stuff, you're supposed to be a kinder person, and I haven't seen that in a lot of people.
I misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you were saying that when you think about being in a gang, it's about people who have decided that they are committed to a cause.
Okay,
they're committed to a cause, and they are going to make sure that you know what that cause is that they are committed to, and they will try to recruit you to be a member of this gang that you're using that language. And so I thought that's what you meant about people that are vegan. We want other people to also know that this is what we are committed to, and this is why, and we want to recruit you to become a member too. So I didn't know about the part about how
that's a good thing too. That's correct.
That's how I was. That's how I was hearing it.
That is correct. That is correct.
But I think that I do want to pull on and emphasize the part that you said about when you are cleansing your body with better nutrition, then it does affect your spirit. So you are not as mean. You are not as mean spirited. That you have the ability to be. You have a better capacity to be nicer and kinder to people. And that's not just if you become vegan, but if you just begin to focus more on your wellness, your wholeness, your nutrition, all of those things that you are. How much TV you watch, how much. Music you listen to, the kind of TV you watch, the kind of music that you're listening to, because I'm not advocating for anyone to stop listening to music or to stop watching TV, but I do think that it is important for us to filter what it is that we watch and what it is that we hear, so that we can make sure that we are not allowing other influences, these other voices, to guide us without our permission. Caller, you're live on the air at KABF 88.3 FM. This is Community Voices with Chef Elnora Wesley. Thanks for calling.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for finding me, Carl. I just want to say I've been 16th Martin Luther King on 2 occasions, and both times I've gone there, the doors were closed. Before she leaves, would you let us know when she's open the business?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will come back because I left there and at the house and those on Right Avenue, so I'm going to keep them in the community, not the community. And it's sort of interesting that you mentioned 1740. That's like hundreds of years ago. Then we have to 1740 to 1840, and 1840 to 1940, but still in the Jim Crow. And all of these different laws that they take back in still in effect. Through the laws, they were de facto, you know what I mean? They were still practicing not wanting us to read and not wanting us to have our own food, etc. So I appreciate what the sister is doing in her efforts to help us with eat to live. Thank you so much for that. And I would also like to say that there's also a parallel. We went through hundreds of years of slavery, and of course, no one wants to talk about it or teach about it. And in the 1930s, 1940s, there was a segment of the European population that was imprisoned and killed, etc. I guess they didn't call it the Jewish diaspora. I thought that's what they call that. But they were also complicit in slavery. And, you know, maybe it was karma. I don't know just why it occurred like that. But now these same Europeans are in Africa, and the situation in Gaza is just a continuation of oppression that you spoke about through the enslaved population here in America. It's just another form of enslavement or occupation or subjugation or whatever like that. And these different foods do make a difference into how people eat, because flesh eaters are pretty much a type of of a situation, a curse where you get to stand in the meat with your teeth. It makes your ribs and richer teeth, make the jaw strong and what have you. And our teeth are made for all of that post-terry anatomically for in. And I just like you to expand on that. And I hope I haven't gotten too far off of the subject. But for hundreds of years, we've played in that 20, 30 years folks in different sections who subjugated to the Aryan. They want to kill them all, and I say thank God the Aryans against the Jews or whatever they call them. And we don't know what they are today because they're not Spaniards in Africa, some kind of way that's confusing. So if you would you comment on that for me and maybe somebody else that's listening will bring that into perspective and maybe expound on it just a little bit more for what I was thinking. Thank you so much for having me to speak. And I will be there as soon as she tells me when she's on.
Okay, thanks so much, Ezekiel. I do want, since you brought up Gaza, we've got a whole lineup for May of special guests coming on to the show. Elnora Wesley, Afia Elnora Wesley, vegan chef, is kicking us off this month of May. Marvelous May. Today is May 7th. And then next Tuesday, we've got Dr. Tane Duncan again coming back to talk about FAFSA and other things. And then we've also got Ibrahim Abanuzra and friends coming in on the third Tuesday, May 21st, to talk about Palestine. So he brought up Gaza. And then we've got Representative Denise Ennett coming back on May 28th to have a particular conversation about infrastructure. And she has already asked me to put the question out there to you, those of you who are concerned about infrastructure. What are your concerns? She wants to hear them so that she can record them and she can address them, because she is really interested in infrastructure, and she wants you all to call in, to write in, to however you get the information to us. She wants to hear all of your questions and your comments and your concerns about infrastructure. So first, please tell us the times that you are open for this food that we can come and get.
Yes, right now we are open Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're just doing lunches right now. We will expand hours later, but we're kind of walking into this thing to make sure we give you the best service possible. So we're open 11 to 3, Tuesday through Friday, and follow us at The Home on Facebook or at Home Vegan Restaurant on Instagram for updates, because we do weekend pop-ups and things also.
And I know that I'm going to say to the people too, like, when you come in, be ready to kind of spend some time talking to people, looking around, bring you a book, because you might have to sit for just a couple of minutes to get your food because it's packed in there. I have not been when it has not been packed in there. And I think that what's the one that you can get? Because I think this is what I got for my mom. It's like you can get 3 entrees.
Three sides and 2 entrees. It's our sampler plate.
3
sample plate. You get 2 entrees. You get a portion of 2 entrees and 3 sides.
2 entrees and 3 sides. That's what I got. My jackfruit meatloaf, I think, something like that. It's jackfruit.
Yeah, the jackfruit pot roast, or our street loaf is chickpeas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be a good, not the best seller, because I think your cauliflower wings are the best seller.
Always.
So go out again, 1523 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. It is the home, and it's inside of the First Security building. You got to go inside the building, and the restaurant is right there. As soon as you go in, you go to the left, and there is where you can order your food. Also, Ezekiel was asking about meat and how meat strengthens your jaws, and because you said something about being kinder, like what you put in your body can also affect your spirit. And so to be a flesh eater, he wanted to see if you had any comments on what that does to your body to be a flesh eater.
It's interesting. I may contradict myself here, or what people may think of me, because I'm also a soldier and a revolutionary. So I've heard the teachings from our people are talking about eating meat and tearing flesh. And you're correct. Our teeth, they're not made for that. It's more for omnivores. We can eat both, really. But I understand that, and I've heard that before, and I agree. I mean, we're in a dual universe. When you go to the very degrees of things, you can be a meat eater, or you can be, I'm going to use that word, if you eat meat and you don't have any more meat around and you don't know what else to eat, what are you gonna eat? You know, or if you learn. So I think it's more about the education. I don't have much to say on that one, just because I've heard that before and I do not disagree. But I'm also a soldier, and so blood's not really a problem with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'll spill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't go all the way that way.
Gotcha.
You know.
And
Yeah.
I think that is important. For me, that's important because one of the conversations that we have is how far we say that we want to fight for collective liberation. We absolutely want to fight for Black liberation, but are you willing to put your body on the line? Are you willing to spill blood? Are you willing to have your own blood spilled? And that's when the conversation for some people gets to be, oh, wait, you take me too far. I'm not willing to go that far. And not everybody will go that far, but how far are you willing to go becomes a question. And we need people who are willing to spill blood and to have their own blood spilled. That's just part of war. That's what happens when you are at war. So I appreciate you again being honest and transparent with us. I do want to get into this though, because this is what made me reach out to you. I was going through Facebook because I've learned, I used to not scroll Facebook at all. I'm like, I don't have time for this. But now I've learned that there's a lot of things that I see on Facebook that make me say, huh? And then I want to explore it some more. So it actually has turned into a bit of a tool for me in coming up with content for all of my digital creations. But you had a post about the price of of something at your restaurant, and the price I think was going up. I don't know if the price was going up, but you went. I mean, it was a long post. You went in. You were like, wait a minute. Now you will go over here and pay $17. I don't know I don't remember the post exactly. I was looking for it. I can't find it. You'll pay $17, $20 for food that doesn't even nourish your body. And now I'm over here saying we're going from, I don't know, 10 to 12, whatever the number is, you can tell us. And y'all tripping on me? Like what? Like, let's really talk about what's going on. The fact that you are willing to patronize folks that do not have your best interest in mind, are not trying to feed your soul, are not trying to prepare you for the battle that you are already in, whether you know it or not. But that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Offer myself in service to you, understanding the nutritional value of what I'm offering, understanding the nutritional value of the benefit that it has for your life. And you tripping about $10, something like that. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's what it was. As we've rebranded and gotten into a new spot, we changed the prices some, which they should have been changed. They should have been changed. I just looked through and we were doing it more. I mean, we were doing it to make money. We wanted to be a business to be, well, I told you, accidentally went into business, you know. And so we wanted to make money and things like that. But I always want to make it affordable for the families. I see people with their families coming in. And I've always just wanted to keep the prices affordable. But in doing that, I was not making much profit at all. I wasn't making much profit. And so a lot of that was service work. So people were coming in there and getting, they know, cauliflower wing plate, 2 sides, $10 for a long time. And where can you go and get a meal like that for $10 anywhere? You know, and it's fresh cooked daily. We try to use organic things when we can, or what, you know, the fresh, or even farm to table when we can. But anyway, all that to say, so we went up on the price a little bit, and people was tripping. Not a lot of people, but some people were tripping. It's like, hey, $15 for vegan, full plate, vegan, and I mean, we got our good portions. Anyway, that just tripped me out. Yes, I made a long post about that because, come on now, you go to Burger King or something and pay $13 for a cold Impossible Whopper. They won't even put it on the grill and frame broil it for you. It's just straight out the package. So I'm trying to hear all that.
And so I thought about that because a lot of times we have to have conversations. We talk about what's going on. We have to have conversations, internal conversations about how we choose to spend our money and how we trip. This is kind of some people trip, and how we trip when it's us. But we don't have the same reaction when it's people that don't look like us. We're more willing to spend our money there. We're more willing to accept whatever it is they put on our plate. We're more willing to accept it without even complaining sometimes. You'll complain to me, but you won't complain to them. And so that's what made me say, wait wait a minute, we have to get to the point where we're going to support each other in whatever ways. And so I thought about this as you were talking, because you said some people are coming in and they are not able to afford whatever it is that they're trying to eat. And we know that this food is nourishing. We know that this is a food desert. We know that people need access, and you are offering and granting that access. So it might be a way for us to come up with a system where people can pay it forward. Like for people who can pay $20, like instead of paying 15, you can pay 20, and five of those dollars goes into the pot for the person who's coming in.
Right.
You know, I've seen it at something similar when you go to a gas station, and it'll be a little container with some coins, get some change, and then you need 2 cents or you need 20 cents. And so we could create a fund like that goes for the people, those of us who are coming in. I'm not saying coming out of your pocket, but those of us who are coming in who are able to pay more, then you can have this set aside for folks who are not able to pay. And just like now, I go to a lot of places and they'll ask you if you want to round up your offer, your money. So if you paid $10.15, you want to get this extra 85 cents, and it's going to go to whatever. So we can develop something like that will allow us to make room for those people who are not able to pay. So it's not at a cost to you, the one who is the provider, but those of us who are patronizing and those of us who care as much about the community as we say we do, we should be willing to do something like that. So I just want to drop that right there.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's my thing with him, because I'm a kind, I'm sweet. I used to just give the food away, but that's what my thing was about him. Don't come in aggressing me about this. Tell me that you need some help, and I'm going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say you need some help.
But that's difficult for us to do, especially as Black folks, to admit that we need help, because people have taught us, or we have, what did you say earlier? Some other thoughts, somebody else's thoughts have been planted into our brains that make us say to ask for help is a sign of weakness. We don't want to cry in front of people because they say that's a sign of weakness. And we're so worried that somebody's going to see us as weak that we end up suffering when we don't have to. So I'm not sure, especially if it was a Black man, I'm not sure if he was able to say, look, I really need some help. And so that's another part of the conversation when we say we want to make sure that we are nourishing our minds, body, soul, and spirit. If we're going to be a tribe, if we're going to be a community, if we're going to move as a nation, we got to be able to say, look, I need you right now.
Yeah. And health is wealth, and eating healthy, eating more clean, getting your body right, getting your mind right, like we were talking about a while ago, the meditation, because even that will help you know your purpose in life and help you have a better state of living and thrive. So we try to do all that, and we were talking about books. We have a library there. We haven't had it. Ms. Scarborough Hearn said she was going to come through and help me get it together. We have a library there for students and different people to check out books to help educate. Because with us, it is a holistic process. It's not just about what you eat. It's about how you manage stress. It's about what's going on in your family life, in your relationship to get you to the next point. It's about what blockages you have. It's about education.
Yeah, and I understand that, again, part of this strategic plan to bring these 3 Black businesses into the first security building, which is the student union for Arkansas Baptist College, is that part of the plan is also to educate the students. It's to also teach them some classes, to also give them some internships, also make sure that this is something that's going to grow beyond just your space, like beyond the 4 walls of this building, beyond the 4 walls of Welcome Home. We are making sure that you can take something with you that's going to help you continue on your process, on your journey of wherever it is that you are trying to go. So that's part of the strategic plan, the way that I understand it. But I want to make sure that I underscore, emphasize something else that you said earlier. You said, I'm doing this not just for the nutrition, but I'm doing this for my people. I want to save my for the planet, because I'm doing this for my people, because my people will save the planet.
Will save the planet. I mean, and that's the thing on veganism, about saving the planet and this and that. But all these byproducts and all this other, and look, we're all going to go live off the land. Look, yes, I did to save my people. My people will then in turn save. When my people are at their best, when they're not in survival mode, when they're thriving, when they're working as community, when they have their health, when they have which is their wealth, when they have their mind in order, we're going to save the planet. Period. Yeah. We have rarely done things that were against the planet.
We have rarely done things that are against the planet. And I'm concerned about that, though, because, again, the tidbit talked about how it was a violation of the law to grow your own food. I was just driving by, I was on Rebsamen, whatever the name of that street is, and I came across the the bridge to come back. I don't know what street that is. But anyway, they're building an entire apartment complex. And this is this huge apartment complex. And I was thinking, okay, first of all, for my people, it's probably going to be beyond your price point. But if you can get in there, there's no land. And if there's no land, you don't own any land, and that means you cannot grow anything. And so I keep seeing all of these. You go down. Where was I going? In North Little, I was going to 167. I think I was about to get on 167, and there's an entire development happening right there. There are these developments happening all over, but they're apartments. They're not homes where you have access to the ground that you can grow. And I really believe that is by design. And so we've got to figure out, how are we going to feed ourselves? And if we are dependent on the system to feed us, look at what they feed us. There are some parts of the world that will not even import food from America because of how we treat the food that we eat and that we give to people. And so what are we going to do? Like, do you have any guidance, any counsel for us to be thinking in that way? Like, what are you going to do to nourish your own body? Because they're not going to do it for you.
I mean, we always talk about cooperative economics. And at that point, shout out to Remix Ideas and Benito and the whole team around there. And I call them, as my homie Kazi coined it, economic revolutionaries. So shout out to them. But cooperative economics, if you have a garden and your friend has a garden and somebody else you know has a garden, how about y'all get together and work a farm? We need more Black grocery stores. We need the farming, but we have to learn how to work together.
Yeah, so you talk about cooperative economics. I know during the Christmas season, for those people that celebrate Christmas, we talk about Kwanzaa, and Ujamaa is one of the days, which is cooperative economics. And so Habari Ghani, what's the news? Today the news is cooperative economics. Habari Ghani, then you say to me Ujamaa, because we need to talk about cooperative economics. How do we, and I don't believe that these are new concepts for us. Black folks have been living like this for a long time. Other people maybe, I don't know. I can only talk about my culture, where somebody has and you don't, and you exchange. What do you have? Yes. Let's work together. I need some sugar. You need some flour. Let's switch. That's the kind of thing that we do. You need to go to work. I'll keep your children while you go to work. I come back. We'll be on different shifts, and now you keep mine. Like, that's the kind of living together, the kind of coexisting that we have been doing since we have been in existence on another continent as well as on this one. And so I think that's another thing that sometimes bothers me, is people act like this is something new. Like, we're trying to introduce you to this new way of living and this new way of being. No, we're trying to get you to go back and learn who you have always been, because who you are living as now, if you are in the matrix and you really don't know yourself, you cannot see yourself, because you have been programmed, because you are being controlled, because you are not in because you don't have full bodily autonomy. And so that's what we want you to think about. And food is part of that conversation. Access to food that will clear your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit, so that you can live into the essence of who you were created to be. So I want you to tell us one more time where you are located, the name of the restaurant, where you're located, your times.
Yes, the name of the restaurant is Home Vegan Restaurant. We're on the corner of 16th and MLK. That's 1523 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Little Rock, Arkansas, right across from Velvetex, 1 block down from Uncle T's. And I'm once again, I'm thankful for being there, because it's such a historic spot. Uncle T's, K Hall, everything that's around there. But anyway, I'm gonna leave something out. But yeah, we're there, and we're open 11 to 3, Tuesday through Friday. And eating healthy, health is wealth. Eating healthy is a revolutionary act. And we need to be in the game.
And she's in service to feeding her people, because her people gonna save this planet. All right, thank you so much for watching, for tuning in to Community Voices. You will see the thank you flyer that goes up probably tomorrow. It will have all of the ways that you can reach out to Chef Elnora Wesley, owner of the home. Welcome home. That's what she wants you to know. Welcome home. And you'll have that information if you want to stay in touch with her, and make sure that you go and get some of this food. I'm telling y'all, you're not going to know. You're not going to know it's vegan. You're not going to know it. It's just that delicious. But we'll see you on Thursday for The Workplace, right here with your host, the pastor, Tony Orr, and I'll be right in the space with him. I'm going to leave you, get you ready for your girl Lola coming in with Jazzy Tuesday. We're going to start you off with the real Marvin Gaye singing What's Going On, and we'll see y'all next time.